Hello everyone, my name is Shakha Tripathi and my other teammates are Devendra Pratap Yadav and Sejal Agrawal. Under the supervision of Avdesh Kumar Tiwari, who is Assistant Professor in Department of Computer Science and Engineering, our project ID is 2018 CS EPID 28 and our project title is Web Scraping Tool for Movies and Flight Fares Listing. Now introduction. Today, as the world becomes more digital, zettabytes of data are available on the internet. The technique of obtaining important and usable text content from web pages is known as web scraping. It is an automatic way to collect big volumes of data from websites that is not easy to do with traditional copy paste method. Whether you are starting a new project or developing a new strategy for an established company, you will always need to access and evaluate a large amount of data. This is when web scraping enters the picture. You may encounter data on websites that you are unable to copy and paste. Web scraping can assist you in extracting any type of data you require. We may require the data in a form once it has been extracted that is understandable. Web scraping systems rely on DOM parsing, that is document object model parsing, computer vision, and natural language processing techniques to simulate human surfing and provide later access to web page information for offline parsing. Now, problem statement is with the advancement in internet globally, there is a huge amount of information available on the web. Many search engines like Google, DuckDuckGo, Bing, etc. index numerous queries when searched. It is very useful to get everything at your fingertips. But the way these search engines provide you with the information is not sometimes suitable. Let's say if a person wants to book a flight from destination A to destination B, then he would have to go to multiple websites to see which airline is offering the lowest fare price. This can take a lot of time. The existing search engine do not provide the results in one single place. Rather, you have to go to each website and gather the information all by yourself. Imagine if there was a tool that can go to every website and get the information you are looking for one single place. It can be a personal drive of your computer or a laptop. With such a tool, you'll cut the time and clicks you would have to do earlier and you can use that information for later use in any manner you want.
Okay, so I will explain about the working procedure now. First of all, we will create the web scraper using various libraries such as Beautiful Soup, Selenium, Requests, and etc. After then, we will provide the URL of the website from where we need to scrape the data from, and that is done by using the request library. The request is a HTTP library for Python. The goal of the HTTP requests is to make the HTTP request simpler and more human friendly. After providing the URL, the scraper starts finding and scrolling the web page for the data using Chrome driver. The Chrome driver opens a Chrome tab and fetches the data from the given URL, and that is then processed by the DOM parser. Now, the DOM parser. The DOM parser provides the ability to parse XML or HTML source code, which our website's data is usually in the format of, and then the DOM parser process that data into a string or a DOM document. Now, the beautiful soup 4 acts, and the process of the beautiful soup is to process the dynamic data that was given by the selenium as a static data. The resultant data is then passed into a table using parsing library like XML along with beautiful soup 4. This output is then merged with the front end of our web page and it is displayed to the users. Now I will explain about the deployment process. So first of all, we need to create an Anaconda environment and then We have to install all the required libraries into it, like NumPy, Selenium, etc. that we discussed about in the last procedure. After installing the libraries, we then activate the environment and then we execute the app.py file that we just created and put it in the same folder. After that, our Flask is used to host our web app. After getting the URL, we paste it into the web browser. This loads up the web page where we have to provide the details such as destination and departure city along with the travel date. Or in case of movies, we provide the genres like action, romantic, thriller, horror, sci-fi, etc. Then after hitting the search button, the scraper fetches the required data from that URL and then it represents the output on the web page. Finally, after our search has been done, we then execute the Control plus C command in the Anaconda prompt to stop the local host and close the environment that we just created. This is how our code gets deployed.
The result of the project is, with the help of different libraries, all the components like the source code, images, templates containing index files that are used for making the web page are stored in a folder. Activating the Anaconda prompt and with the code, it produces a URL based on our localhost. That URL is then pasted into a browser and it runs on the localhost, displaying the web page of the project that was created. The web page contains the interface to provide the input of various zones, and after entering those details, the Chrome driver is initiated and the web scraper starts its process of crawling the given URL and inspecting the HTML elements of that web page. From there, the scraper fetches the data and using the parsing libraries, a list of top movies based on that specific genre is generated and presented on the page. The same approach is used for fetching the list of cheapest flight fares using the web scraper.
As you can see, these are the output of the flight fare divided in the subcategory of arrival time, departure time, and the flight fares.
The conclusion of our project is, as the internet has developed exponentially and organizations have become increasingly reliant on data, having access to the most up to date information on any given issue has become a requirement. We can say that our web scraping tool will help people working on B2B, that is business to business class, use cases who need access to data from a variety of sources so that it may be integrated into unique apps that add value and novelty. We have gone over the different components of web scraper in this paper, starting with web scraping and various scraping tools and software. Then we looked at the operating principle, strengths and weaknesses, and lastly, the knowledge has been applied to build a web scraping tool that patches the list of movies based on the genres and the cheapest flight fares so that multiple clicks over many websites can be saved. Thank you.